So I've been putting this one off for a while, but I think it's time to have a look at the OG of cryptocurrency and perform some technical analysis and price predictions on Bitcoin. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video, and today we are looking at Bitcoin and performing some technical analysis and making some price predictions on the coin itself. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and let us know down in the comment section below if you are a Bitcoin holder and what your thoughts are on Bitcoin overall. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you're interested in seeing more crypto, stock market, wealth management and investing content in general. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Because it has some significance to this video, let's first take a look at this tweet from Elon Musk today on June the 4th, 2021. This effectively once again caused the entire crypto market to drop. Not only Bitcoin, but the entire market. You would have seen from my sheet video yesterday that this was the case and we were affected by it. And basically he tweeted hashtag Bitcoin and then a broken heart, and this meme here which effectively said, "I know I said it would be over between us if you quoted another Linkin Park song, but I've found someone else. So in the end, does it even matter?" And this a tweet alone has literally caused the value of Bitcoin to drop, as well as many other coins which follow it in the crypto market. Let's jump into CoinSpot now and have a look at exactly the effect that this had. And if you're interested in buying Bitcoin or any other cryptos, remember I have a referral link in the description of this video where you can right now go up and sign up to CoinSpot. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in buying any crypto at all. But let's look at the Bitcoin chart, and you can see today that effectively we are having a bit of a red day, and that is directly as a result of Elon. Obviously, we're not seeing the giant red days we've had in the past. Over here, it is relatively small in comparison, but you can see up here in the top right, we have effectively dropped 4.46% at the time of recording of this video, which it's pretty crazy, to be honest, that something like this can literally affect the value of Bitcoin. And we can literally go in and have a look at this from an hourly or even a minutely perspective. You can see that exactly when he tweeted was effectively when the price started to drop. So basically it was 9:07 I think Australian time, and it started to drop from there on out purely because of that tweet alone, which is absolutely insane that it has so much influence. But where does it leave us? Well, on a short-term perspective for Bitcoin, we have hit a point of support, and you can see that by the fact that we've bounced. And basically I can put in a nice little line here to show that for you guys. You can see there's been plenty of price action in these regions that is acting as a level of support for Bitcoin, which is positive obviously. And keep in mind this is obviously just the hourly chart we're looking at now, but we'll zoom out a bit more in a moment. Now we did see that we were in a nice little bit of an uptrend as well. So bring it from the end point here all the way up to the top. This is probably the best bet in order to work out the short-term uptrend. We didn't hit the bottom of that. It looked like it was going to start moving that direction, and in fact it possibly could within the next few hours, but at this point in time it bounced and now it's gone red actually, but it looked like it was going back there. Hopefully we see one of two things: either A, it stays above that, or if in the worst case scenario it does drop down into this direction, then effectively it bounces instead off this point and goes back up. That would be the ideal case scenario. Worst case scenario, what we're going to see is that this is going to get breached and our trend is effectively broken and we start moving in that direction, which is not ideal obviously. And zooming out to the daily chart, this will really illustrate that point. So obviously we've got that bit of support here, which was established. You can't barely see my line. I'm going to drag it out for you guys. You can see that is a point of a lot of price action that has occurred. I don't know why that's not really gone out properly, but you can see once again that's effectively the point that we should be bouncing off in the short term. Now if we go out a bit more, let's say worst case scenario that fails, where could we see it dropping to? Well, I think we'll be dropping to around this point here. I'll illustrate that with this line, where there has been once again quite a lot of price action that has occurred, and that's roughly at 38,000 Australian dollars. Let me just line that one up. There you go. So effectively we would see Bitcoin likely, drop, go down to this point and hopefully bounce and come back up. I think that's worst case scenario here, guys. In the long term, we're probably doing all right. Now let's just delete these lines and take a quick look at some of the moving averages that we need to consider. So I like to use a few different variations. I'll just bring in two for the time being. I'll bring in the 20-day moving average, and I'll also bring in the 50-day moving average for a bit more of a longer term outlook. Now, as you can actually see, we did have a decline up here. Now this is sort of when Bitcoin was really becoming more unstable. The whole crypto market was as well, and we started to decline. Obviously the big day was right there, and we declined from 75,000 Australian dollars all the way down to 64 within the space of a day. Not ideal, but at the end of the day it is what it is. Now if we really want to extend this out a bit more, let's trade this one in for the 200-day moving average. Now we can see, unfortunately as well, we dropped below the 200-day moving average, and it looked like we were moving up potentially again to maybe test that line, but that is not the case so far. What we do not want to see is this short-term line going through this long-term line. That will be a really significant death cross, and effectively it will mean that we are in for a long-term period of decline. So hopefully what we see is the price actually starts to navigate its way back up again, up here, and hopefully above this 200-day moving average. Let's just bring in as well the moving average convergence divergence, MACD. You can actually see that we were on a good trajectory today, but that is not the case now due to the fact that we've had a decline. So I think we're going to see a sharp hit be taken right here, and unfortunately maybe a bit of decline. If this can actually hold up for the day, I'll be surprised, but that will be very, very positive news and show that we've got a bit more strength in the coin itself. Now obviously that's not certainly the best looking chart out there, but what would my price target be? Well, it would be that 200-day moving average, which was sitting roughly between 54,000 and 55,000 Australian dollars per Bitcoin. That's the target. That's what we want to try and hit, and that's what we want to try and breach. So keep that number in the back of your head when you are looking at the price of Bitcoin. But I'm going to wrap it up today there, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more of this sort of content. We cover crypto, investing, stock market, and wealth management in general as well. So if that tickles your fancy, hit subscribe, turn on bell notifications. I also love to know your thoughts on Bitcoin and even on Elon's tweets and the effect that they have on the market. It's pretty surprising that one person can have so much of a significant impact on the overall crypto market. Absolutely crazy. But with that, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.